guys, it's Zahava. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a book haul. As you can see, there may be some boxes behind me that I haven't gone through yet, and I thought that before I did, I would set up the camera and just do it all with you guys. Because if you're new here, you probably don't know this, but literally no one in my entourage reads. So when I get new books and I'm super excited to talk about them, I don't have anyone to talk about them with, and that's where you guys come in. So if you like this kind of content where you get to see book vlogs and book haul videos and potentially a TBR video soon, definitely like and subscribe to this channel because it's free for you and it really helps me out. So without further ado, I have my trusty pair of scissors here and let's get right into this haul. Let's start with this package right here. Woo! Okay, there are two books in this one. I haven't seen any of this yet. Okay, this one here is called Lottery to Haven and it's by William G. And this one comes recommended to me from Fina of Fina Reads, whose channel I will link below, who is an excellent booktuber who has an insane collection of books and really amazing recommendations. If you guys don't know her, definitely go and check her out. And Fina was doing a video recently on some unknown authors that are either writing fantasy or sci-fi and, you know, they're unpopular. They don't have a lot of reviews on Goodreads or YouTube or anything like that. So she suggested this book here and it sounded interesting enough to me. So I took a chance on it. I picked it up, I think, for maybe 20 bucks on Amazon, which was totally fine for me, and to support a small author. Now, Fina had said that this book could be a little difficult to read, and I was just hoping that it's not going to be giving Black Leopard Red Wolf vibes, but I trust her opinion enough to take a chance on it, so that's what I did. The next book that I picked up, also from Amazon, is the Book of Jerrig. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I don't really know, but this one actually is an omnibus. It's 3 volumes in one, and honestly, I cannot remember why I bought this. So I don't know if this ever happens to you, but sometimes when you're doing a book haul, maybe I would have seen this somewhere and been like, oh, that sounds really interesting, and I went onto Amazon and I picked it up, and for the life of me right now, I cannot remember why I did that. So I have it now. All right, let's get into this one. Oh, and by the way, you guys, you know how much trouble I always have opening these book outlet boxes? Well, I figured out how to avoid this trouble. I'm actually going to open them now from the bottom of the box. So I'm not gonna have all this cardboard everywhere and a big mess. We're just gonna go ahead and open these boxes upside down. It's much harder than it looks to make these things look natural on camera. It's like super awkward. That's why editing is so important. The first one is When the Reckoning Comes. This is by Latanya McQueen, and it is a horror book. It's pocketbook size. Have you guys ever heard of these? Let me know if you've read any of these books that I picked up in the comments, and if they're any good, okay? Because most of these books, I don't know anything about them. So yeah, this one here is 230 pages. So that is a good book to have when you need a low-hanging fruit palate cleanser or really easy read. So we have this. I'm getting more into horror. This should do the trick. The Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simon. I don't recall putting this one into my cart, but here it is. I have no idea what it's about. But it is a Reese's Book Club pick, so I'm pretty sure that when I read the synopsis initially, I was excited about it. I think I picked it up probably because it's a murder mystery thriller, and again, as one of my 2025 channel goals, I wanted to read more mystery thrillers. So probably with that in mind, that's how this ended up here. But I don't really know anything about it. The next thing I have here is Witch King by Martha Wells. This one here, I believe, is the first in a trilogy, I think. Guys, I have no idea why I bought all these books. Does that ever happen to you? Like, this is awful. This is truly shameful. It does have a really cool map, though. Like, I'm always a sucker for a super cool map. So yeah, it'll be a new fantasy read for me. I like this kind of thing. What can I say? This will be my first Paul Tremblay. So I'm very excited for this one. I love horror. I'm getting more into it. It's actually how I started reading when I was really young, like in elementary school, grade 5, grade 6, reading R.L. Stine and Christopher Pike. So I used to have like over 100 of those little middle grade reader horror books. That's actually how I got started reading. So getting back into horror as an adult is an adventure. It's an adventure. But this is The Beast You Are, and I've never read Paul Tremblay before. So if you guys know anything about this, let me know if I made a good choice. This one here, I don't know if that's going to come into focus. Okay, so this one here is called Honey, and I gotta be honest with you, I bought this one just for the cover. And I can see that the lighting is really bad. Maybe this is better if I hold it like way further back from the camera. But yeah, this one, I don't know anything about it. I bought it because it had a really cool cover. It was pink. I liked it. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I think it's like lit fic, an addictive coming of age story that follows the meteoric rise of pop star Amber Young as she navigates fame and self-discovery in the late 90s and early 2000s. So it kind of sounds like Britney Spears-esque type of thing, and hopefully it'll give us a good chronicle of how teen pop stars actually deal with the stuff that they have to deal with and how that affects them. So I kind of like the subject matter of this one. I don't really know anything about it, but like I said, I bought it because I really like the cover. So, yep. We've got Honey. This, guys, this is what we're here for. This is the Battle Drum by Sahara El Arifi. And this is the second in the Ending Fire trilogy, and I am so excited to read this one. I know that the third one came out last year in September in hardcover, but I'm just not prepared to spend $40 on it right now. But this one came in at $7.99, so I'm really happy about that. So this is number 2 in the Ending Fire series, and it is a beautiful friends to lovers, sapphic romance, and I just can't wait to see what happens in the second installment. So here is another first in a series. It is a debut novel from this author, and it is, I believe, a romantasy, which, as you know, if you've been here a minute, I'm trying to dabble in a whole bunch of different authors in the genre to weed out the weaker writing from stronger writing, but at the same time, I'm trying to expand my horizons and not pigeonhole myself so much. So this was one, because it was a debut and the first in the series, that I decided to take a chance on. If you guys have read it, let me know if you like it. Just the inside blurb of this so far says, this is like The Witch's Heart meets the Foxglove King. I haven't read The Witch's Heart, but I have read The Foxglove King, which I enjoyed. In this debut novel about a woman who can bring people back from the dead and the princess and only heir to the throne whom she must protect no matter the cost. So I'm thinking this could probably be an LGBTQ plus romance. I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. I'm kind of going into it blind, but this is one that I picked up as well. Next, we have Schrader's Chord by Scott Leeds. This one is also a horror. I think it's pretty explanatory from the cover. I don't really know anything about the plot. This will be one that I bought because of the cover. I'm guilty. I know some of you are guilty of doing that too. Be nice to me, please. I don't judge you, don't judge me. Speaking of the Foxglove King, this one here is the second one in the series. It is The Hemlock Queen, also by Hannah Whitten. There is a third one in the series. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it. It's going to be coming out a little later this year. So I'm going to see how this one goes, and then if I'm really sold on it, I'll buy the third one. If I'm not, I may just give up the series after the second book. But I had bought this book wanting to take advantage of the $7.99 sale that Book Outlet was having, and I bought it. I may have jumped the gun on it a little bit because I bought it before the sale was over and also before I finished the first one. The other thing I want to mention is the Foxglove King is a paperback copy. This one here is a hardcover, so I don't mind. I'm not somebody that really minds if I read one paperback, one hardcover. I'm not a stickler for that kind of thing. It doesn't matter to me. So I know that some people want their sets to all match. I don't really care. I'm not overly bothered by that, but I will read this one. I just maybe won't run to it. So a couple of videos ago, I did show you a copy of Vita Nostra that I have. This one here, The Assassin of Reality, is the second installment in that series, and it is quite a bit shorter than the original novel. I don't know if the third one in the trilogy has been translated yet, and I don't happen to have it. It wasn't available when I went shopping, so I do have the second book in the series, and also from the same pair of authors, I have Daughter from the Dark. This one here is a paperback copy, but it's also a standalone. I hear really great things about this pair of authors, but I think unfortunately they're not writing anymore because one of them passed away. So I'm not really sure what's happening with the third installment in the Vita Nostra series, but I'm just happy to have been able to get such a great price on these books. I hear that the writing in Vita Nostra is fantastic if the story is not a little weird, but it's definitely on my priority reads of 2025. And this one may wait until 2026. We'll see how Vita Nostra goes first. But yeah, I have this one and this one from Marina and Sergei Dyachenko. So these two. Then I finally got myself a copy of The Ministry of Time so I can join the rest of BookTube and the rest of Book Talk. So, I have a copy of this now. Here is a sci-fi novel. It's titled Walk the Vanished Earth, and it is also by an author, Aaron Swan, who I've never read before. The year is 1873, and a bison hunter named Samson travels the Kansas plains full of hope for his new country. The year is 1975, and an adolescent girl named Bee walks those very same plains, pregnant, mute, and raised in extreme seclusion. She lands in an institution where a well-meaning psychiatrist struggles to decipher the pictures she draws of her past. The year is 2027, and after a series of devastating storms, a tenacious engineer named Paul has left behind his banal suburban existence to build a floating city above the drowned streets that were once New Orleans. There, with his poet daughter, he rules over a society of dreamers and vagabonds who salvage vintage dresses, ferment rot-gut wine from fruit, paint murals on the ceiling of the Superdome, and try to write the story of their existence. The year is 2073, and Moon has only heard stories of the blue planet Earth, as they once called it, has now succumbed entirely to water. Now that Moon has come of age, she could become a mother if she wanted to, if only she understood what a mother is. Alone on Mars with her two alien uncles, she must decide whether to continue her family line and repopulate humanity on a new planet. Did they just say she was going to repopulate humanity with her two uncles? Is that what I read? A sweeping family epic told over 7 generations. As America changes, and so does its dream, Walk the Vanished Earth explores ancestry, legacy, motherhood, the trauma we inherit, and the power of connection in the face of our planet's imminent collapse. This is a story about the end of the world, but it's also about the beginning of something entirely new, thoughtful, warm, and wildly prescient. This work of bright imagination promises that no matter what the future looks like, there's always room for hope. So yeah, I'm sorry for reading you that long little bit, but I love the premise of this, and it just sounds like really interesting and so fantastic. So I think that this one will probably be up in my priority reads for 2025. But of course, I have some other things in the work. I just did a library haul, and we're going to be doing a library haul video right now for the rest of the month of March. So I don't know when you guys are going to see this video here, probably before the library haul video, just so I could like break things up for you a little bit. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll probably put this video up before I put up the library haul video, because I'm going to be doing a TBR video, sans the books that you're seeing in this video here, just because we got to get on that, you know, we got to get on that. So Walk the Vanished Earth. Let me know what you think of this, you guys, if you think I made a good choice, because I think I understood that she was going to repopulate the world with her uncles. So, I don't know. The last book that came in that book outlet box was The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. Now, okay, this is the second in the Serpent in the Wings of Night trilogy by Carissa Broadbent, and I don't know anything about this. I am one of those people that, because it was on sale and because it was a good price, and I haven't read The Serpent in the Wings of Night yet, but it did come, as I've said before on this channel, recommended to me by Willow of Willow Talks Books, and since Willow really liked the first installment, and because Book Outlet had this one on sale for $7.99, I bought it anyway, but I haven't read the first one yet. So I'm not super proud of myself for buying something when I don't know if I like the series yet, but at the same time, if I do like it, it's a bonus because I've saved money on it, right? Right? Is that girl math? I think so. This is a really big and heavy one, guys. I hope I don't pull out my back trying to swing it over to the other side. Opening the boxes upside down, by the way, fantastic idea. I'm trying so hard not to injure myself right now. I did it. It's also more fun to open the boxes upside down because then I don't see the covers right away. So it's way more fun. I have another first in a series. This is Elric of Melniboné. Pronunciation? Question mark. This is the Elric Saga, Volume 1, and it is a high fantasy, a series I'm unfamiliar with, an author I'm unfamiliar with. It is a very, very solid book, over 550 pages. So wish me luck. Okay, so in this box, I actually have not one, but two Adrian Tchaikovsky, and I have never read Adrian Tchaikovsky before, but I am wanting to get more into sci-fi, and this one here is a service model, and I don't know, it just sounded really interesting to me, and I have low-key also been influenced, as you know, from Willow, so I saw this on one of Willow's shelves, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick that one up, because she did a video recently about Adrian Tchaikovsky and his works, and I just felt like, I don't know, I would give it a shot. So I have this one. That's number 1 of 2 in this box. The next one I have here is Wrath. This one I believe also is a horror novel, and like I said, I'm just trying to increase my horror collection. I don't really know anything about it. I am going in absolutely blind. Also have Midnight Rooms. This one here, I believe, is a sci-fi. No, not a sci-fi. I won't read you the blurb because the blurb is like really, really long. It's the whole length of the inside cover in really small plot point. But there is a quote here on the back which I can read you that says, "An immersive horror fairy tale marrying Crimson Peak to Pan's Labyrinth upon strange foundations." I did love Pan's Labyrinth. That's one of my favorite movies. You're never really safe here with Midnight Rooms. Wondrously defying expectation and refusing obedience, Danye Coles leads us into a house of sinister magic full of corners for peeking around, but careful, these walls have claws. A feverish labyrinthine debut. So, I don't know. I love the cover. Excited to read that. That's a standalone as far as I know, and sometimes there's just room for that, you know? Also, the cover has kind of like a weird textured kind of a jacket on it. I don't know if you guys have this. If you guys have this book, tell me, is it just my copy or is it the dust jacket that it comes with? It's kind of textured. It's tacky. Okay, I've got 2 paperbacks coming up right now. I've got one which is another romantasy, which is Filthy Rich Fae. Again, going into this one blind, no idea what that one's about. But I do like things that are fae, witch, you know, magical realism, that kind of thing. So we will see what that one is about. Then I have The Second Sight of Zachary Cloudsley. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And that is by Sean Lusk. And this one says, a happy child, Zachary Cloudsley has grown up surrounded by strange and enchanting clockwork automata in the London workshop of his father Abel, a watchmaker and inventor. But in July 1760, when Zachary is 6, a near-fatal workshop accident takes his eye, and a gold and lapis one is crafted for him. With his new eye, Zachary also becomes the bearer of an extraordinary gift. At the touch of a hand, he can see into people's hearts and minds. Abel, distraught, buries himself in work, while Zachary is sent to live with his eccentric Aunt Franny. Soon, though, Abel is forced by shadowy figures to journey to Constantinople with a chess-playing automaton to spy on the Ottoman court, never to return. When Zachary later learns his father may still be alive, a prisoner of the Sultan, he sets off on a perilous journey to the Levant, determined to find Abel and bring him safely home. So this did sound interesting to me. That's the cover again. Hopefully the shine isn't too much for you guys. It's really interesting. It sounds kind of steampunk-esque. I don't know, but it's got like shortish chapters, and I think that it's got like, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Yeah, it should be a fun little standalone. We have a copy of The Queen of Days. I believe that this one also is the first in a trilogy. So, you know, I'm trying a whole bunch of different trilogies, as you guys probably have figured out by now, so it's just a question of seeing which ones stick. If it looked remotely interesting to me and had some decent ratings on Goodreads, I probably picked it up. This is one of them. All right, so this is the second Adrian Tchaikovsky that I picked up in this haul. However, after buying it, I realized it's also the second in the trilogy. So I'm missing the first one, which is The City of Last Chances. And I think I may have to pay up for that one. Or I'm gonna just wait and see if it shows up at Book Outlet. And it might not be a $7.99, it might be $12.49, $11.49, one of their regular discounted prices. And I may pick it up there just because the cover is so beautiful and I would really like to have a matching set, assuming that I'm going to like it. So this was just me not doing my research properly and picking up, like I did with Daughter's War. I also forgot to pick up The Black Tongue Thief ahead of it. So yeah, that's the second. Oh no, it's the third time I've done that. What with A Girl in the Tower. So I'm like 3 for 3 right now because I've done that already 3 times. Go me. All right, moving on. We have a copy copy of Dragon Rider by Taryn Matharu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is book 1 of the Soulbound saga. And please, can I tell you, publishers, if you're watching, how much I appreciate when you guys write on the dust jackets or the spines of the books that it is book 1 or book 2 or book 3, because as we have established, I'm not that great at differentiating things or researching. The next book I have here is Starling House. This is supposed to be somewhat gothic. It is fantasy. I don't know if there's any romance or anything like that in this book, but I know it's a relatively small book and I really like the cover of it. It's also a Reese's Book Club pick, so I thought I would give it a go. And the last book in that box is a whopper of a book called Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. And this one is a dark fantasy, urban, historical mishmash, which sounds really good. Set in Victorian London in 1882, and it's centers around some young kids. So I don't know, it could be a really good read as well. Let me know if you guys have read this one. So I believe that Willow of Willow Talks Books also recommended Long Live Evil. If it's not Willow, then somebody else did. It's apparently a really good romantasy. I know it's the first of a series. It sounded like a great ride, so I picked it up based on that. The next book I have is actually going to be my first Christina Henry. I think there are 2 Christina Henry books in this haul. This one is Good Girls Don't Die. I haven't read her before. My library doesn't actually have any copies of her books, and I don't even think they have any Christina Henry books in the entire Montreal Library catalog, because I can get them transferred from other libraries to my library, and when I search for Christina Henry's name, nothing comes up. So I decided to give it a go, considering that the price was really great and I haven't seen Christina Henry books at the thrift stores either. So we will try this thriller horror by Christina Henry and see how it goes. The second Christina Henry book that I picked up in this haul is Alice, and I love, love, love Alice in Wonderland. The fact that this is a morbid retelling of Alice in Wonderland, I'm showing up for that. So excited to read this one. Yep. So we have a copy of Moonbound by Robin Sloan, and this one I believe is a fantasy sci-fi, and I don't know anything about it and or the author, but it did look really interesting to me. I really like the cover, and this is one that I bought just based on the cover. This is another first in a trilogy called The Silver Blood Promise, The Last Legacy by James Logan. Again, this is an author that I'm unfamiliar with. I don't actually know if this is a debut novel or the first in a universe novel, so it could be like a second or third trilogy in the same universe. I really don't know. So I took a chance on it because it looked interesting, and I guess further research will probably be required. But since I want to be opening up my repertoire of authors that I can rely on and enjoy, I took a lot of chances this time with a lot of unknown books by authors that are not familiar to me. So any help that you guys have, any familiarity with any of these things, please, please let me know in the comments. I guess I got 3 Christina Henry books in this haul. This one here is The Mermaid. I totally forgot that I got this one, but look at the cover. I just love the cover on that one so much. So again, I'm not really sure what this one is. Probably Little Mermaid-esque, but that's just a guess for me. Like, I really don't know, but I had been excited to find so much Christina Henry that was available. Her and Marina and Sergei Dyachenko, there were multiple books by the same author, so I just like ran to check out with those because I know that it's rare to find that, and I didn't really, I had a little case of FOMO. The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie. Okay, you guys are gonna look at the cover of this book and you're gonna say, Zahava, what is this doing in your book haul? And I'm going to answer that question for you. Okay, so this is gonna be a little magical realism type book, but also because I'm hoping that it'll give me what Remarkably Bright Creatures gave me, which is a cute, cozy, everything is wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow at the end, and I'm hoping that this book here will do that for me because I have a little bit of trouble with cozy mystery and cozy fiction. It doesn't, I don't know what's wrong in my brain, but it doesn't like necessarily resonate all the time. So this one here, I'm hoping will do something magical and wow. And also like blue and yellow, you guys. I love the cover of this. It's so attractive to me with this color matching. So I don't know. The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie, purchased entirely because of the cover. Next, we have The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley. This is another author I'm unfamiliar with. Again, I'm just taking a chance on where these stories are gonna go. This is a Chronicle of the Unhewed Throne, book 1, and I really hope it's gonna be good. I would be really sad if these books were not good, you guys. I am not going to try and pronounce this author's name for fear of butchering it, but I did pick up a copy also of The Three-Body Problem. It is Ken Liu who translated this, although I am not going to try and pronounce this person's name. I am so sorry, but I did buy your book. So again, this one will be a sci-fi book, and just very excited to expand my sci-fi repertoire. And then the last book in this box is going to be Legends of the Dragon Realm. This one too is a bit of a chonker. It is coming in at 650 pages, so I'm gonna probably be reading this one over a few months because I can't just read one book for the vlogs or you guys are gonna be bored to tears. But it did have a dragon on the cover, and you know, I love a good fantasy, so I'm hoping that this one will deliver as well, and that sort of takes care of a lot of the firsts, a lot of the fantasies, and the ends of the book outlet haul. The last things I'm going to show you in this video are actually from the Shadow and Spice box. They are a Canadian company. This video is not sponsored, but I have purchased from them before. All the books are by indie authors, I should mention. Oh, I'm like totally out of focus here. They're all kind of wrapped up in their pairs, just in some regular tissue paper. I don't know anything about these authors. It was really just me wanting to support a Canadian small business and some independent authors. So let's see what I got. I think I got like one that was fantasy, one that was romance, and one that was horror. So we'll see what I got. Okay. So this one here is, oh, and they all came with these like amazing bookmarks. So fun. So fun. Oh, there's that bookmark, and then there's this bookmark, which kind of looks like a ticket. I hope that that's coming into focus. It's like really very cool, the bookmarks. Okay, so there's bookmarks there. So this one here is Reign of Shadows by Angel Hayes, and this is Battleborn Mage Book 1. So I'm imagining it's going to be a fantasy romance. It's just a guess, but again, I don't know anything that this book is based on. Killian is hellbent on accompanying the battle mages beyond the Black Wall to satisfy the demands of a oh my god, I can't talk. Killian is hellbent on accompanying the battle mages beyond the Black Wall to satisfy the demands of a battle-weary king, despite the council who thwarts him, and redeem himself from his dark past. That alone promises to be a perilous mission, one that has killed hundreds of men before him. But when a seer predicts the birth of a child that will unite the world or destroy it, and assassins come for Killian and his family, he must do everything in his power to protect those he loves, even if it means giving in to the monster he's feared to be. A mysterious warrior, one he has no hope of defeating. So yeah, this is Angel Hayes. It's an independent author. Reign of Shadows, Book 1. We'll see how it goes. The next one here is called Gates of Hope, and this is by G.E. Hannaford, and it is the Aurelian Gates Book 1. But tell me this isn't giving Fitz and Nosy a little bit. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, it's almost looking like Fitz and Nosy from Robin Hobb's original Farseer trilogy. So it's, I don't know, maybe I subconsciously bought this book because it's kind of reminding me of Fitz when he was a teen and Nosy before he met Night Eyes. So I don't know, that's kind of my thing right here. But yeah, I mean, it looks really cute. I'm supporting an independent author and a Canadian business, so trying this one out for a new fantasy romp. Next, we have some signed book plates, you guys. Oh my gosh, I did not know these were happening. Okay, so we have some signed book plates. There's 2 of them signed by the author for the 2 books that I've picked up here, as well as some postcards, which are really cool. So here's the one. And I just want to make sure I'm showing them to you in the right way. So some postcards, which I don't know, I guess are maybe by independent artists. Not really sure. Then I have 2 horror novels. These are by Shelley Campbell. So the first one here is called Gulf, which is the Dark Walker series book 1. And the second one I have here is called Breach, and this would be book 2. So we have books 1 and 2 in this horror series by Shelley Campbell, which hopefully is going to be good. Oh my god, you guys, look at this. Okay, the last ones that we're going to show you in this video. Can't believe we made it to the end. Something fell out. So we have a sticker. a bookmark. And then we have two books by the author which seem to be independent of one another. One of them is called The Naughty Corner, which is 3 novellas in 1 volume. And the second one is called Chasing the Dragon, which is, I guess, a standalone novel. I don't know anything about this author or anything about these books, but again, it was for me just out of the goodness of my heart, wanted to support some indie authors. And because the Shadow and Spice box does feature indie authors and or some exclusive editions of books that are, I guess, sent to them. Again, I'm not sponsored by these people, but I know that if you're an author and you want to be considered, because I was poking around the website for like having your books be part of her quarterly subscriptions and stuff like that, you could get that info on her website. I'm not an author, I'm a reader, obviously, but yeah, so these are the last 2 books that I picked up. Again, I don't know anything about the authors or the subject matter, going in blind. If you guys have any experience with any of these books, and you want to let me know how you'd like them, please feel free to leave your comments down below. And with that said, I think I've taken up enough of your time today. If you guys are still here, that is amazing. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me and look at this insane book haul. I am going to be doing shortly a TBR walkthrough with you guys, but I promise that none of the books that you see here are going to be a part of that. So even though these are technically part of the 200 and some odd books that I already told you guys in a previous video I have on my TBR, these have already been counted in that 200 and some odd tally. So we're not going to go through these again because you've just seen them now, but when we do the I said doo-doo. So when we do go through the actual TBR cart, which we'll be doing eventually, you will not see the books you just saw now, because that would be really annoying for all of you and really annoying for me. So again, thank you so much. If you have stuck around until the end of the video, you know, if you're still here, I love you the best. And until next time, this is Zahava saying ciao for now.